So is Mont Blanc Explorer a good designer interpretation of Creative Aventus? Let's review this and find out. Hey, what's going on guys? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, what I do is I make fragrance related content. So if you love fragrances, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And also be sure to follow my fragrance Instagram page where I have been posting daily fragrance content. But today is all about Mont Blanc Explorer. Now, to be honest with you guys, when this fragrance first came out, I did not own a bottle of Creative Aventus at the time because it was back in 2019. And when I have smelled Aventus though, because I've been to Saks and stuff like that and smelled it, so I knew the DNA. And when it first came out, guys, I was at Macy's, I got my nose on this, I was like, wow, that smells just like Aventus. And I scooped up a bottle then and there, guys, right when it came out. But my thoughts have absolutely changed after being on this fragrance journey and obviously having a bottle of Aventus and many other clones of Aventus. But we're going to be reviewing Mont Blanc Explorer, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts about this. Before we talk about the fragrance, let's go ahead and go over some information about it now. So for the price of Explorer, you can get a 60 ml bottle for $80, or you can get the 100 ml bottle like I have in hand for $100. So at that price, guys, I think that is absolutely a reasonable price for the kind of fragrance you're getting, of course. There's nothing wrong with that pricing whatsoever in my opinion. But yeah, that is the pricing for Explorer. The release date for this fragrance is, of course, 2019, like I said. So at the time of this recording, it has been around for 3 years now, and it has been talked about a ton, especially in the fragrance community, guys. This has been hyped up. It's gotten a lot of hate. It's gotten a lot of love. So yeah, been around for 3 years. Now, there is actually 3 noses behind Explorer. You do have Antoine Maison-Dou, Jordi Fernandez, and Olivier Pesachek. Now, I'm sure I'm pronouncing probably all 3 of their names incorrectly, so forgive me if you are watching that. But those are the 3 noses behind this fragrance. So there was quite a bit of talent that went behind Explorer. All right, with all that information out of the way, let's go ahead and look at the packaging and presentation you will get with this fragrance. All right, so looking at this box, guys, immediately something probably comes to your mind, and that is, of course, a Viktor and Rolf Spice Bomb. This looks identical to that box, guys. It's like the same shape, has the same exact kind of stuff going on, and that honestly kind of rubs me the wrong way. Of course, the fragrance is inspired by Aventus, and then the box looks like Viktor and Rolf Spice Bomb, so they're pretty much copying that box as well, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Of course, it says Explorer Mont Blanc as well. This is an eau de parfum concentration, and it says the 100 ml bottle. On the bottom of the box, you do have your barcode and batch code to authenticate your product and see when it was produced. Nothing on the sides, and pretty much the same thing on the back as well. So yeah, I cannot say I'm a fan of this box because it is not unique at all. So looking at the bottle now, the bottle is better than the box because this bottle does stand out quite a bit, and I do actually kind of like it. There's a lot going on as well with it. Of course, you have the Mont Blanc star on top of the cap with kind of Mont Blanc Explorer embossed around the atomizer as well, which is cool. That Mont Blanc logo, and then it is leather wrapped, which is probably not real leather, of course. The cap does click into place very snugly. Also have the Mont Blanc logo on top of the atomizer. And on the bottom, it does have kind of like a Dior Sauvage kind of incave around here with some information around there as well. So they kind of copied that as well. So there's like 3 things going on, but the bottle is pretty nice and it is very heavy. In the top, you have bergamot, pink pepper, and clary sage. In the middle, you have vetiver and leather. In the base, you have ambroxan, akigalo wood, patchouli, and cacao pod. Now, looking at that note breakdown, you're not going to think Aventus at all. There's no pineapple. There's no black currant, there's no birch, there's nothing really that resembles Aventus, guys, besides bergamot, which Aventus isn't really known for to begin with. But yeah, let's go ahead and spray this fragrance because a lot of those notes is not what you're gonna get in this fragrance at all. So let's go to test out the atomizer with this. The atomizer is not pressurized, but it does spray quite a bit of juice, which is always good. So, oh yeah, I'm getting it in the air already, guys, and it smells very similar to Aventus. You would definitely get the Aventus DNA, which has been copied so many times. I think Aventus is probably the most cloned fragrance, hands down, that has ever been made. So let's go ahead and remind myself of this opening. So in the opening of Mont Blanc Explorer, I do get a heavy dose of bergamot, and to be honest with you, The bergamot is actually done very good. It is like a juicy, fresh, bright, vibrant bergamot note in here that does resemble the bergamot in Aventus, of course. I am getting some kind of pineapple bergamot combination in the open, even though the pineapple is not listed, but I definitely do get a pineapple vibe in the opening of this fragrance for sure. Probably Mont Blanc didn't want to obviously list pineapple because when you think of pineapple, you think of Aventus right off the bat. Just how, unfortunately, how it is nowadays, Aventus is known for the pineapple. In this, I do get pineapple, I get the bergamot. Not so much pepper or the clary sage in the opening, just very citrusy, fruity, clean, and fresh is what I get in the opening. Now, to be honest with you guys, in the opening is pretty much most of the thing that smells similar to Aventus. Once you get past that top, that's where this fragrance absolutely falls completely flat for me, guys. It becomes so boring after that opening because all you're pretty much left with is kind of like a faint leather note and ambroxan. That's all I get. I don't even know why cacao is listed, which is of course chocolate. You get no chocolate at all in this fragrance. Just like I said, ambroxan and some leather in the base of this fragrance. Mont Blanc did a good job getting that Aventus DNA, at least in the opening, but once you get past that, guys, like I said, it falls completely flat. Smells nothing like Aventus. You don't get that magic of Aventus at all. But that's sort of what I expect. I think Mont Blanc was actually the first designer brand to actually kind of do an interpretation of Aventus as well. So you could pretty much like get a Aventus DNA at like your local mall, like Macy's, Dillard's, stuff like that. So that was kind of interesting. And I fell for it as well 3 years ago, guys. I went in there, I was like, whoa, Aventus, gotta get a bottle. And I did, and then like, I don't know, a few months, maybe a year later tops, I got a bottle of Aventus and haven't really worn this one since, to be honest with you guys. Now, I actually do have sort of bad memories with this fragrance because at the time when I got this bottle, I was wearing it as like a signature scent during a rough time in my life. So kind of had that in the back of my head. Every time I smell this, it kind of takes me back to that rough patch in my life. And that's what fragrances do, guys. Because smell is actually the closest thing associated with your memory. So every time you wear a fragrance, be careful where you wear it, because if it's a bad situation and you smell that fragrance again, it's gonna take you right back to that environment and that situation. So yeah, that's kind of the downside as well, and why I don't really reach for this one. Even though it's not the best smelling fragrance, it does fall flat, but also have that bad memory associated with Explorer also. Now, I do know they came out with a flanker of Explorer, like Ultra Zest or something like that, in a blue leather wrap bottle. I never smelled that one. I think that one was just kind of fell under the radar. Not a lot of people talked about it either. Who knows? That might be an Aventus cologne interpretation. Probably, to be honest with you. But yeah, guys, if you're looking for Aventus, there's much better offerings. Even Club de Nuit Intense Man is a much better Aventus inspired by fragrance. I actually love that fragrance and wear it a lot, to be honest with you, over Aventus. Even though I don't like it more than Aventus, but I'd rather reach for that one if I'm just wearing it to work and I want that Aventus DNA. I wear Club de Nuit all the time. Also, even like Banana Republic's Black Walnut Legend smells very close to Aventus as well. Just no smoke and just very fruity, fresh, just kind of like this one as well. Don't get any smoke, no musk really, anything like that like Aventus has. No ambergris, of course, you're not gonna get that in here. Probably, honestly, the worst Aventus inspired fragrance that I've ever smelled, which is unfortunately coming from Mont Blanc, of course, a huge designer house. And I'm sure a lot of people like this fragrance. I can see why, because I fell for it. I liked it before as well. But yeah, when it comes to Aventus, it definitely falls completely flat on its face. Now, for seasons that I would recommend this one, of course, the Aventus DNA is very versatile. It usually works for all seasons, all occasions kind of thing. But for this, because it doesn't have the smokiness, it doesn't have the woodiness really, it doesn't have the musk, I would stick mostly for the spring and summer, just because you mostly get this fruity, the citruses, and it's just very fresh and vibrant. So definitely spring and summer is the best for Explorer. Also for gender, definitely masculine. There's nothing feminine about the Aventus DNA at all. So yeah, definitely is on the masculine side. Now, as far as age groups go, Aventus, I guess, it's kind of hard to tell, because if you're a younger guy, you can definitely rock it. And also if you're a more older, mature guy, gentlemen, you can definitely rock it as well. But for this one, I would say it leans more on the youthful side of things. Definitely, it's more playful than Aventus because it doesn't really have any mature aspects to it. It's not rugged, it's not rough like Aventus can come across. So yeah, definitely youthful. Probably anywhere from 30 below is the best age groups for Explore. All right, let's talk on performance for this fragrance. Now, to be honest with you guys, I have got a ton of compliments from this one. I remember the first time I wore this one into Walmart. I actually got it. I was so excited when I got it at Macy's, guys. I actually unboxed it in the car and sprayed it all over me. I went into Walmart and I had these guys pretty much losing their mind over it, asking what that is. Never smelled anything like it. Where can I get it? So that's just one vivid memory of a compliment with the Explorer. So it does pull compliments, but usually from guys because guys love the Aventus DNA. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if it's just because it comes across very masculine, very alpha male kind of thing, but guys absolutely love Aventus, at least the DNA. It does pull compliments and it does actually project pretty solid. I will give it that. It does push off the skin for a good maybe 3 hours or so. But once again, guys, when it comes to longevity, like I said, that top note does not last the longest. Maybe around like 3 hours once the projection actually kind of lets loose and starts settling a little bit more on the skin is when you're just left with that leather and ambroxan base. So it pretty much just skips basically all the other transitions. It goes from the top to the base of this fragrance. So it turns into a skin scent very, very quickly. And it kind of smells like a second skin on me once it gets to that base. So longevity is definitely below average. Projection is about average from my testing. Final thoughts on Explore. I guess it's cool that it's a widely available designer Aventus DNA inspired by fragrance that you can just go into the mall and get your hands on like I did 3 years ago. So I do give it that, but for an Aventus clone, it falls flat and is my least favorite from all the I have tested. So not the biggest fan of it. Also obviously have that memory associated with it as well, which kind of ruins it a little bit more. But yeah, just a very linear, boring Aventus inspired by fragrance in my opinion. But if you like this fragrance, don't hate me, enjoy it like I did before as well. It's not a terrible fragrance, but for what it tries to do, it definitely falls flat. If you like Aventus or you own a bottle, or not Aventus, if you like Explore or own a bottle Explore, let me know down below your thoughts on this fragrance, or if you think about picking up a bottle. I love obviously communicating with you guys. But per usual, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll catch all you guys in the next upload. Take care, everybody.